I've been following Depp and Heard for quite a while now, and a lot of people know Amber has a daughter born via surrogate. And I know what you're thinking. What else can we say now? We've seen these pictures before, but this is actually slightly different. And unlike the other pictures, which I half defended, these actually make me wonder. So this person here, Papaya Bee on Twitter, and shout out to her by the way, says, "Don't let anyone fool you into thinking Amber Heard isn't calling Paps on herself, which is something we know Amber's been proven to do. She calls a paparazzi and they show up and they take the picture of her and make it look like someone snapped it spontaneously or whatnot. She desperately does this in order to appear in Spanish magazines. Well, you know what? That makes sense. Maybe she does actually want to stay in the limelight in the US, but maybe in Spain she feels different. Maybe she feels like she wants to start over and these bad old habits might just kick in. I mean, it's different for everyone in the world, but I know I've got some bad habits I've had forever pretty much that I just can't beat. Some I have beat. Some things I quit, most things I quit, but not everything. I think there's always those one, two, or three little bad habits that stay with you, and this might be one of hers. She is banking off her toddler as she had been banking off Johnny for years. She has no talents of her own. Now that does make sense. And let's take a look at these pictures. I've never seen them. They must be pretty new. This is from May 12th, 2023. And someone says she looks like Brie Larson here. And I think she kind of does. Here it is. This is even that snarky Brie Larson look in the camera like, "What do you think, trolls and insults? I'm gonna be in the next Star Wars movie. Here's the finger for you." It really does. But I digress. Can't make a whole video based on that. And if you've watched my videos about Amber, I like to say that you can't judge a picture very easily. But this one here, I have to make an exception. I really do. It looks like she's actually giving her daughter a kiss, but looking somewhere as if she's thinking something differently than if you give a kid a kiss. I've mentioned this a few times. I've got kids, quite a few, and usually, not always, you're in different moods, and I think you give your kids little kisses on the cheeks and things like that out of habit all the time. But when you do, usually you're not looking off at something like, "What do we got here? Give your kid a kiss." It just looks like there's something about this that doesn't quite sit right. Sorry, I've got no facts, I've got no evidence, I've got no hardcore proof here, but I just can't recall giving one of my kids a kiss on the cheek while looking out to the distance and thinking something somewhat diabolical looking like this. But who knows? Maybe she's mad because she spilled Starbucks and the stain just won't come out. This is my opinion here. So, of course, let's see what some people are saying. By the way, Jean DeBarry is still trending, as it will for a long time, since the movie's coming out soon, and it'll probably do pretty well. Trust says, "Oh my god, what happened to her face? Laugh out loud, she did too much." Not Jean Durney says, "Filters." Laura B tagged me. Shout to you, by the way, Laura. Thank you so much. And Beatrix Kittle says, "So she removed the hat and sunglasses so she would be recognized. Put on the hat and sunglasses, Amber, and no one will bother to take pics of you. I'll give that a heart." And D says that the first photo looks kind of photoshopped, edited, things like that, and the second is just a lack of bond. I didn't necessarily get a lack of bond out of the second. I just got this odd feeling that she was giving the kid a kiss, but thinking something completely different, but not only different, something in a way that involved using these pictures. And we got this picture here. Amber getting into a car, and some guys around her, looks like media, maybe Spanish newspapers. Can't tell, I don't have full context here, but I've never seen these, and they are pretty odd. And the heavy says, "I think I see some Photoshop around the face and eyes. If her daughter isn't slapping Amber in the face on the last photo session, she's desperately trying to get away from the cloying embrace in this one. Mommy Dearest episodes for the teen years." You get a heart. And like I said before, I don't want to make harsh judgments like how badly she's treating her daughter, things like that. I want to have some limitations here on what I say. I just think these pictures have something more than meets the eye. She only called the Paps to share pics of her daughter and herself to look like a loving mom and not like the lying abuser she really is, but it doesn't work. That could be possible. And there it is again. That really does, in a weird way, look like Brie Larson. And yes, it does look kind of Photoshop. I gotta admit. Walt says, I agree she's backing off the toddler. I don't think the toddler is hers, though. It looks like a different toddler every time, and so far, most of the toddlers in the pictures don't look like they want to be held by her. And yeah, I guess if the toddlers weren't hers, or the toddler, excuse me, wasn't hers, then the toddler wouldn't want to be held. Usually. Some kids like being held, not always a problem, but if it's a stranger, odds are greater that they won't want to be. Anyway, yes, some people said this looks edited, but this one here looks real to me. And the one getting in the car, that looks real to me too. Let me know what you think in the comments. I know one thing you're thinking, how is this still going? It's 2023. What's going on here? But new pictures keep coming out. And like I keep saying, as long as Amber is still in Aquaman, she's still in a Hollywood film. So I'll be following her at least until that issue resolves. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. Done here for now. See you next time.